Hello, welcome to RT Magazine, a show about Middletown High School, its students, and the community. News about you and for you. I'm Rebecca Carroll. In this week's episode, Maggie Devine talks to Bella Dos Santos about the new UNICEF club at MHS. Luke McLister sits down with Middletown alumnus Rick Leonard after signing with the Washington football team. And Kalvin Salser attempts to color a coloring page under a red light. This week's show is brought to you by
Middletown Sportsland Incorporated, the place to find all your sports needs. Located on 108 West Main Street in downtown Middletown.
In our first segment, Maggie Devine talks with Bella Dos Santos about the newly formed UNICEF Club at MHS is helping not only those in Frederick County, but children around the world.
UNICEF is really just an international organization, and they work all over the world to make children's lives better. Typically those who are in vulnerable situations or emergency action. I was talking in our club meeting yesterday that the pandemic is like a really good example of a time when children really need help. So that's when UNICEF steps in, and they have a lot of workers as well as volunteers that work to make that happen. But as a club, we use that motto as like think globally and act locally, so we can do our part to raise funds for UNICEF as an organization, but also even help children here in Frederick County, because everyone always needs help at some point. I wanted to start UNICEF because I've had an idol my whole life of Audrey Hepburn. She is a famous actress. She's from like the 70s, 60s, and her famous movies are like Roman Holiday and Breakfast at Tiffany's, if anyone's seen those classics. But I always looked up to her from a little girl. It was someone that my mom influenced on me, and so I kind of knew her history and her time working for UNICEF. She was a Goodwill UNICEF ambassador, and she was just a really amazing. She used her fame to spread kindness and help others, and so I always wanted to kind of look up to her and do the same thing and maybe try to volunteer for UNICEF. But there is an age requirement. I think you would like have to have your bachelor's or something, but they know that a lot of kids like me or my peers that are in UNICEF now want to help the organization, so they really want you to start a club in your high school or your college, and so that's what we did. We don't have our agenda completely set right now, but usually in a normal school year without COVID, they would be Knights Quest meetings like any other club. But right now, because of COVID, we have to do them Google Meets, and they will be once a month, and typically an hour. We will focus on that month's global issue that we're doing. So for example, this month it was water. So we talked about it a little bit, and we had a guest speaker, and then we would spend the rest of the time talking about event ideas and what we can do for that month to implement that in the community.
I think it's a wonderful initiative. Bella was extremely enthusiastic about this when she approached me, and I just wanted to make sure that we had enough of a base that we could really form a great club here at the school, and my expectations were just blown out of the water. We have in our Schoology group, we already have more than 60 people signed up. We had more than 60 people come to our first meeting, which is fantastic. It really makes me feel good that, that many students here at the high school care about these issues so much that they want to, put themselves out there and become, part of a great cause. I have children myself, so this issue, is near and dear to my heart too.
Yeah, so we're actually doing for the rest of the school year. There's not just like a closed sign up, like anyone can join. Next year it'll be different, but we did start in March, and so we want to make sure everyone gets the opportunity to do their part, because that would be great to have so many people as long as they're really interested in it. The Google Meet code is UNICEF MHS. And then we also have an Instagram, so like if people are interested to see when our meetings are held, it's UNICEF_MHS.
In our second segment, Luke McLister interviews former MHS athlete Rick Leonard about his exciting new deal with the Washington football team.
Middletown High School alumnus and NFL offensive lineman Rick Leonard signed with the Washington football team on January 11, 2021. Leonard graduated from MHS in 2013 and was a part of 2 state championship football teams. Leonard was drafted in the 4th round by the New Orleans Saints and since then has also spent time with the Houston Texans and Arizona Cardinals. Leonard gives us some insight into his NFL journey.
It feels really good to be back home, playing for the team that I grew up rooting for, a team that my family grew up rooting for, and a team that a lot of people in my hometown are fans of. So yeah, man, it's awesome. We just started this week our off-season program, so getting back to it. Had a little off time here in February and March, but yeah, man, we're back to it and getting rolling on 2021 season.
Leonard shares how the NFL differs from high school and college football.
Completely different in the aspect of, it's a business, right? It's a money-making machine. We get paid to play football, to do a job and do it well. You don't obviously get paid in college or in high school. So, but the things that you get especially in high school ball, man, that's why I love Middletown so much was, we just had that camaraderie, just growing up with people that you've known since elementary school. And now you're out there playing the game you guys love with each other. Once you get up to college, especially in the NFL, you tends to lose a little bit of that in the game. So you kind of got to remember why you play the game, just because you love it when you're younger out there playing it for free. And because it's a lot different up here, as said, like you can't get fired in high school or in college. They can get rid of you real quick up in this league. So it's a lot different. And I've been just learning and growing these past 3 years. Every place I've been fortunate enough. There's lots of great players around the league that I've been able to learn from. Lots of great coaches I've been fortunate enough to be coached by. So just trying to soak all that in and learn from some older guys that have done it good for a while, and so bring that all here to Washington.
Finally, Kalvin Salser puts their eyes to the test as they attempt to fill in a coloring page under a red light.
Hi, my name is Kalvin Salser, and this is me attempting to color in a coloring page in red light, which makes all the colors that I'm using look the same. So, let's go. Okay, so here in the recording, I'm just showing off how I covered the bottoms of the colored pencils where the words would be with paper so that, I wouldn't be able to read the text and be able to tell what the color is. As you can see, you cannot tell the difference between these colors. You can just tell that they're light and dark. And then also the markers didn't have the name of the color on it, so I didn't have to worry about covering that up. I also did have to record this in a closet since my room, I would be unable to shut all the windows. So I had to record this in a closet, and word of advice, if you have claustrophobia, don't do that. I don't have it that bad, but I have to an extent. Anyway, so this last bit is right before my finishing. This is today. I'm recording this voiceover afterwards, but I just want to say that my experience with this, I did really enjoy this challenge. Though it did hurt my eyes after some of my sessions, I had really fun, so had a lot of fun. So without further ado, let me let my past self take over and, yeah. Okay, so this is the final product in red light, which looks kind of orange, but, yeah, so we're gonna turn this off, and 3, 2, 1. Wow, okay, oh my gosh, this is so bad. It is, clouds are green. As you could see me revealing the end of it, I didn't really like the look of it, but I just want to add a final note that I did really have a lot of fun with this challenge, and I do recommend anyone that just likes drawing or painting or coloring to try this out because it's funny. in the end, when you see what the colors you thought you were drawing with, it really wasn't that color. So, yeah.
That's it for this episode of RT Magazine, part of the Roundtable's multimedia experience. Thanks for watching. You can find all our episodes on mhsroundtable.com, or you can download our app, Student News Source, for access to our articles, videos, and podcasts. Have a great week.